will be here. But definitely important. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know how things sound. There's a lot, per usual, a lot of background noise going on. Hi, Tarot Gothis. Welcome. Happy October! I'm so glad we made it to October. Hi, Tony. Thanks for being here. Welcome. I thought I'd hop on here for a bit and talk about October. Hi, Nara. Thanks for being here. So, does anybody have any numbers or vibrations that they absolutely want to make sure to talk about? Just let me know. Because I was just going to talk about what's going on with October. Um, since the energy is very different from September. Thank goodness. Because September, man, that was a different kind of beast. It was just rude. Just straight up rude. Okay, I'll wait and see if there's any numbers or topics that you specifically want to talk about. I'll wait and look in the chat. Um, but while I'm waiting, um, no, it doesn't have to be October related, Tony. It could be any numbers that you're seeing, anything that's happening. I do pretty good at jumping around. So, oh, good. Okay, we'll save October. We'll save October. Actually, yeah, that's fine. So let's see. Nara, oh my gosh, my eyes are like the freaking worst. My glasses work and then they don't work. Oh, okay. Yeah, that 1124 that yeah, we've talked about that I think at least once if not a couple of times. But right now especially it's going to be a heightened number. So the 1124, like yes, we've talked about it before, and you can have these similar numbers that are coming up quite regularly, but they could really be sending you deeper details of the message or even a different message. Because sometimes when um, the universe sees that you are picking up and you're recognizing that a message is coming through, that might just be like a knock on the door. So it might just be when you see the 1124 that that's like a knock on the door saying, hello, we have a message for you, or mail. I won't sing the Blues Clues song, even though I know it all. Um, so it could be that if you're seeing it quite regularly, that it could be that this is not itself the only message, but it's like being used as the attention getter. Um, because we've already talked about it, and so we know that this is going to 8. But right now, because we've just come into October, which is resonating at a 1, these ones here, this 11, is very much heightened. It's much stronger, much stronger. And so, what you'll need to do is you'll really need to make sure that you're trying to pick up on the pattern of when you're seeing it or potentially why you're seeing that number. So if it's always happening at like you're always seeing it like as a time, um, then you might have to like, all right, at this time or around this time is when I'm going to just sit and be quiet and just listen, or this is when I'm gonna do a journaling prompt, or something so that you can be able to pull the deeper message through, because that's what it's kind of feeling like. If it's like repeat like that, um it's, yeah, it's kind of like a knock on the door, like, hello, message, you've got a message. Pick any of your movie quotes that fit in here. Yeah, okay, so if it's a particular time, yeah, then I would start trying to take advantage of that, um, and see if you can like figure out how to be able to have a schedule. So maybe it's like, okay, around this 11:24 is when you could get this knock on the door of like, okay, there's a message. So if you like just say, okay, I'm just going to give myself um 10 minutes every day, to be able to just sit quietly and try and listen to my body, listen to what where are my thoughts going, then we could probably try and start deciphering what this message is, because we get hints of like when you're quiet enough and you can feel what part of your body is like tensing or relaxing when you are seeing this vibration, that gives us some more information as well. Or even just closing your eyes and seeing a color can give a lot more information also. So if you like give yourself a time where you say, all right, from 11:20 to 11:30 every day, I'm just going to sit quietly and I'm just going to write down my thoughts, or I'm just going to let the messages come in. That's how I would start handling that. Because if it's continuously coming, then there's definitely a deeper message there. Does that help? Let me know if you have any other questions on that, and I'll come back to this if you do. Okay, good. Yeah, so let me know how that goes. What else do you find? And let's see. 23 is a very interesting number, Tony. So you can actually go back and look in. I have a video that I put out a couple weeks ago that it was about I am who I am. 23 is the numerical vibration of I am. And a lot of times when 23 comes up, it's usually around like a change, because this is a change that's occurring. That's the 5. So this 5 is change, but it's a change that's coming from growing and getting rid of extremes. So, like, no more extremes in your identity. So, it's making changes in, um, like, stepping into your full authentic self by making changes that are coming from really growing in that identity space, in that I am space, and getting rid of the extremes. Um, because yes, we have to be able to shift and change in different environments, because that's just life. Um, but you don't have to shift and change your identity, like your true authentic self. So how can you show up as your true authentic self regardless of where you go or who you're around? So you could actually do some really good work with this number. Um, I know that you have been on your healing journey, which is amazing. But you could do some good, like journaling, prompting, or even just, just like a contemplation of what are the changes that you would like to make um, around your identity or to step into your most authentic self, and then work backwards from this. Hi, Josh. Thanks for being here. So, like, if you decided, all right, here are my three, like, changes that I want to make that would make me feel like my most authentic self, and then look at where, in what ways can you grow, and then in that growth, how can you get rid of these extremes? Oh, good. You're very, very welcome, Tony. I'm glad that's helpful. Let me know how it goes, and if you have any other questions or you run into any other questions. Hi, Noah. Thanks for being here. Welcome. Okay, put your other numbers in the chat. Let me know what other numbers you are seeing, what else you'd like to talk about. And while you're doing that, I'm going to just give us an overview of October. And you can ask questions about any of this October stuff also. October is actually really exciting because it's not September. Yeah, because September was so horrible. But also that it's like one of those rare moments where we have the opportunity to have all of the energy and opportunity to um, really do anything. Like this is our time where we can draw in all the energy that we need to really put together and manifest the lives that we want to live. And it's giving us a peek into what's coming next. So this is a really good month for practicing your new life, practicing the life that you want to live. Um, and the biggest thing is that we actually get to use the September energy now. So, I know, back in September, I kept saying all of September, just be observant, just watch, just pay attention to what's going on, just hold on tight, just get through it, and then we'll be fine. That was definitely September. But what we have now is we have this September 9 energy that's coming in to October, and it's making this one energy like super potent. It's like, getting the premium gas instead of just the regular. Oh man, I had a car once that would only take premium gas. Yeah, I had to get rid of that real quick because that was insane. But that's what's happening is that this energy of October is supercharged. So the first thing to pay attention to is that if you're feeling any blocks or resistance around things now that we're in this October energy, it most likely is coming from something that did not end or did not get shifted in September, or really from January all the way to September, because we've been in this huge 9 cycle that ended in September. So if you're feeling blocks or like stagnation or like something just can't get started, that's going to be highly unusual in this energy right now. And so you'll need to look back not just at September, but for all the way to January and even possibly years before, of what it needs to end that I'm not allowing to end. Oh, hi, Nikki. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Because right now, we should be able to pull in all of this nine energy and then put it towards everything brand new. Hi, Mai. Thanks for being here. So, October is about everything brand new. And this is a practice time. So, in this month, you should be able to see very clearly what did not end because that's this nine energy. You'll be able to see clearly what is not in, like not has not ended. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for just dropping in. It was good to see you. I appreciate you. So you should be able to see what isn't like hasn't ended because this energy of one, especially a 10-1, is wanting everything to be brand new, wanting everything to be clear. It's like so if the September energy came in and like scrambled things up and like pulled things out that needed to go, kind of like if you're like I've had the experience, you probably have too, where you're like cleaning out your closet and it has to go to chaos before it can get organized. So you're like pulling everything out and then you're starting to sort. So from January until September is when we were pulling stuff out. Things were being revealed, things were being pulled out. September is really where we were, all right, these got to go. These are the things that have to go. Whether we're giving them away or we're throwing them away, this has to go. So September really was a deeper examination of things and figuring out what needed to end. And so now we need to take that energy, take the work that we've done, and be able to apply it. And so that's what this October energy is. But also because 2025 is a 9 and 2026 is a 10-1, we're getting practice for all of next year. So in this year of 9, we should have been really ending things and also shifting things. This word shift keeps coming up for everybody, and it's because it is a very high energetic time for shifting energy in this 9 energy. This 9 energy, especially this year, is more about cleaning your energy out. It's like cleaning it up. It's like if you were, I don't know why this example came up because I don't know how many of us have ever like panned for gold. But I'm sure we all hopefully have at least seen how you do it, where you're sifting using the water to sift through, and you're having to sift through the sand and sift through the dirt to be able to find the little gold flakes or find the gold nuggets. That's what all of this year has been. That's what this 9 energy is. It's not just about getting rid of things, but it's about sifting through the muck and finding the gold that then we can use in this next year of 2026. And so right now, moving from September to October is giving us a practice run where we can practice how we can take this shifted energy, this 9 shifted energy, and actually apply it to things. Like, what does that look like? What does it feel like? How do we know if there is a block and something that still needs to end? Oh, good, Tony. I'm glad my analogy wasn't fully wasted. So October is very, very fun. It's gonna be a fun time, but again, it'll be very clear, not just in October, but also in November and December, that if there are blocks, if you're feeling like there's something that still is holding you back from fully diving into this one energy and really stepping into the new you and your new life, that you really need to examine that, because you really should try and end it in this year, in this nine energy. Because in the nine energy, it's really going to help you to be able to end things and to shift things. After this, it's going to be very difficult too. So you'll have, like, October will be harder to end things than it was in September, but October's vibration should feel more organized. Should feel like it's kind of like if you had an aerial view of like somebody, of like like a big group of people like going to an event, where at the outskirts everybody's all over the place and it's like no kind of organization. But then as they get closer and closer, then they start lining up and getting into some order. That's what's happening as we get into October. Yes. Okay. Yes, Nikki. And that's pretty like that's exactly what was happening with me also. That's usually what happens. Usually when we get to the end of an energy, so in this case the end of September, where it's the end of like that double nine energy, it ramps up. Like it's really wanting you to end things, wanting you to shift things. Like, and so it get yeah, those last couple weeks of September kicked my ass. It was like so heavy. Um, but because I knew what was happening, and it didn't make it easier. But now I'm a much more clear and have a lot more clarity of what I can actually apply it to in October. And it sounds like you've gotten the same thing, which is absolutely amazing. That, yes, so now is the time. This is the time you've been waiting for, Nikki, that you kept asking me about in September. Now is the time to really start new. But this is a really, really good time to try something out, because we have all of next year that's going to feel very similar to this October energy. So even if you have really big projects and goals that you maybe would get more into next year, this is a really good time to just try and test them out. Um, just try it, like just test it out a little bit so you can tweak it. Like we're getting some time to be able to um, practice practice directing this energy. And there's a couple of different techniques that you could actually use to further enhance your use of that energy. So one of them on this calendar, and I know I have this in my video, but I always like to repeat stuff because I don't know about you, but I need some repetition in my life, especially now. Because how do you have, like, I have, like, this crazy memory where I remember, like, everything and nothing. I feel like I can't remember anything, but if I can remember random ass shit. Like, the lyrics to a song I heard one time in the gas station. That's just weird. Yes. Yes. I love this, Nikki. You'll have to keep me updated. I want to hear all about how this is working for you because, yes, this is perfect. Perfect time to test and prepare for 2026 because we'll have all next year where if we are very strategic and intentional, we can take all of the energy, all of this shift energy. I said shift. I said shift. But all of this shifting energy, we can take all of that and funnel it into 2026. So we can start some really big things in that year. And then after 10 comes 11. So then right after that, we have another whole year. So 2027 is going to be another year of pretty dominant one energy. Okay, okay, okay. I got distracted with the excitement. But there's a couple of things that you could do to really enhance that one energy even more. And it's so we have, well, we passed this one on the first, but we have these portal days where these are days where it's a lot easier to access that one energy and there's a lot more of that one energy funneling in. So these would be really good days to do like brainstorming, like uh, any kind of creative work, um, like if you wanted to like create content for, I don't know, a whole month, you could probably do it on one of these days. These are good times also to be able to start planting seeds. So if you need to like contact people or you need to journal out your ideas, if you need to start doing research to figure out what you can do, these are the days that you want to do that. So take full advantage of these portal days. Okay, let me see. Let me see what's going on. No, this is cool. This is a cool idea. Let's look at it. But Josh, let me know. Would this be better to look at tomorrow when we have more of access to things? Well, because tomorrow is when I'll have like the hip hop chart. I'll have more of my books and stuff. Well, maybe we could start it today and then look at it more tomorrow. Also, you let me know. It doesn't feel like it's like a no. I don't feel any blocks around it. So yeah, let's look at it. Oh, okay, Nikki, you're freaking me out now. Now I'm like, okay, sorry, didn't mean to be invasive and all up in your brain and your business. But this is what you were asking for, Nikki. You were asking all of September for a time to start something new. So these are the dates. So on these dates, the first, so that coming up next week, the 10th, the 19th, and then the 28th, those are those portal days where you can draw in big time one energy. And one is anything new. So if you want a new way of thinking about things, if you want to start something new, those are the days to be able to do that. I'm Josh, don't let me forget. I'm going to come back because I do want to look at the 8th. But before I do that, because I don't want to forget, the other thing that you can use are the 9 cycles. So remember, we've talked about a couple of times before, but the 9 cycles are what you use to like build up the energy so that you have enough to be able to really put it towards what you're trying to create or what you're trying to manifest. And so we have two um, 9 cycles in this month. And the first one starts next week on the 9th. And if you look here, we have it's starting. So this is a 1 in the 9th cycle. So if you were to, on the 9th, do all of your planning, then here on the 10th, which is now the 2, this is where you could start doing some big time creation work. And you just want to pay attention to the pros and cons that are starting to come out because it's that 2 day. But we have this kind of exchange happening for both of our 9 cycles. So we have one 9 cycle that starts in the 9th, and then it goes all the way here to the 17th. And how you use the 9 cycles is each of those days you have you do a little bit, a step. What's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? To be able to build up the energy. So if you set a goal for the 9 cycle, or even use both of them, then you have something that you're doing every day to build up that energy so that you are really working towards your intended goal. And it doesn't have to, like, it's always easier to think about it as like a material thing of like a project or, to save money or something. But it doesn't have to be that. It could be, I've used the 9 cycles to help me like break habits. Where it's like, all right, I'm doing little steps every day in this 9 cycle so that by the time I get to the 9th day, that bad habit has ended and I'm ready to start the new good habit. Okay, I'm not going to look at the chat. I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to look at the chat because I like being in the chat too much. So I'm going to get all kinds of caught up. But then here on this second 9 cycle, we have the 9 cycle starting here on Saturday the 18th. You can't see it very well. But 18th is the one for the 9 cycle. And we've already seen that on the 19th is one of those portal days again. So we have another 9 cycle that will go from the 18th until right here at the 26th. My face is in the way. I just noticed that because I wasn't looking at the chat. I couldn't see that you couldn't see. There you go. Oops. So this is the second 9 cycle from the 18th until the 26th. And again, so while the portals are used to pull in the energy that you want and that you need, the 9 cycles are used to build it up, to kind of set it on pace. Because that's the other thing. Like, it's very exciting to have all of this one energy, but you have to be very careful with it also. You have to be very intentional about how you're interacting with this vibration. This is like one of those times where like you say something and it appears. So be careful. Don't be saying no ex's names. Don't be saying no wild stuff because like I'm looking at some of the stuff we have happening right now with people like going back and forth and arguing, and we've had a lot of that happening. But in this time, it's kind of wild because you'll start seeing some of those instant manifestations with this one energy. So you have to be very intentional about how you use it. Okay, so those are the two ways that you can really enhance your use of this energy. All right, let me get in this chat. Okay, yes. And let me know if you need a screenshot or if you missed anything and want me to repeat it. That's for everybody. Um, that's exciting, Noah. That's great. Thank you for being here and for sharing that. That's exciting. That's super exciting. Congratulations. That's that new energy. So make sure you take advantage of it. Any new projects, any new things you want to create, this is the time to do it. Okay. So, Josh, let's look at October 8th. Give me a little bit more information about um, why you think the 8th is coming up. I could see stuff already here on the 8th. But I'm curious to hear about why you think it's coming up. Oh, hi, Tasha. Thank you for being here. Welcome. So let's talk about this 8th as I draw over it so you can't see that it's the 8th anymore. Let's try that again. Here we go. Because you look here at the 8th and it looks pretty unassuming. But I'll start showing you what I'm seeing as I'm waiting for Josh to type. Hopefully, you're over there typing frantically, telling me what you're thinking and feeling, and we'll look at it more. But the first thing with the 8th is this is the last day before these 9 cycles start. So this is a 9-day. So we're still in a 9-year. So this is one of the days that it would be very good to be able to end some things, get some things ended, so that you can shift that energy right into those 9 cycles. The other thing that I'm noticing is just some of these astrological aspects that are happening right before the 8th. So, like this weekend, we have the full moon in Aries. And Tony, this reminds me, this full moon in Aries. So Aries is it is the sign of I am. It is about identity. So you can work with that 23 energy, and actually tomorrow is let me get a different color. But tomorrow, the 4th, is a 23-5 day. So if you wanted to work with that 23 energy, that is more where you can do that. But also with this full moon in Aries. Okay, Nikki. So anybody else that is an Aries, be prepared this weekend. You have a full moon in your sign that could really highlight that energy. So you got to make sure that you're using it for good and not evil. But that goes for all of us. Okay, there's Josh's message. Ah. Okay. Okay. No, I like it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Cuz it's significant for a reason, and here nothing is coincidental. So there was a reason that you brought it here. So let's talk about it. So just looking at what's happening astrologically before we get to this 8th. So this is what you can do for anybody. If there's like a special date that is coming up, this is how you can kind of look around to be able to get some information and some messages and know how to fully be able to use it. Um, you only have to a little bit act right, Nikki. Only a little bit. But so the eighth itself is 27. So one of the first things I saw. Uh, 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 where can I go? Okay, here we go. Here. Um. So the eighth is 27/9. But I think we talked about it, and I know I'm going to need to talk about it more because it keeps coming up. But this 27 is a mirror image of that 72. And I think we talked about that before. Hey, Cousin B! Thanks for being here. I thought you were live. I was planning on coming over to your Twitch stream after this. Hey, New Beginnings. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to go back, Josh, and I'm going to look because I'm pretty sure we've talked about this mirror image before, but I think it was the other way. It was something like we looked at it this way, but it's really the same thing where it's just creating this mirror image. So there is something happening there on the 8th. Also on like just before the 8th, we have some interesting astrology that's happening that we probably have to keep in mind. So we have so first thing on Sunday, under that new moon or that full moon, we have Mercury, which is the planet of communication, is moving into Scorpio. And Scorpio is like those deep recesses of the emotion. So, as Mercury is moving into Scorpio, we have to be very intentional about how we are expressing our emotions. Because this Mercury and Scorpio can have us, one, telling all our freaking secrets, but also like getting very emotional in the way that we communicate. So we want to make sure that we are being intentional with that. But then also on the 6th is where we have Mercury square Pluto. And Pluto is transformation. And a square is tension. So it's a tension between your communication that's all super deep and emotional in Scorpio, having some tension with transformation. And that's leading into this 8th. What was the word? Tell me the word again, Josh, because I don't know if I can find it. What was the word that you wanted to look at with this? And it does feel like there will be more that'll come. Remind me of this if you're able to make it to the live tomorrow. Because then we can actually look at the song itself. And if there's particular lyrics. Look at everybody here. I'm so excited. Let me know if you have any numbers or any dates or anything that you want to look at. Okay, let's look at both. Let's look at both. Let me hurry. Let me hurry. Let me hurry. So I can write it down. Okay, so Troy. Well, one of the things, okay, reminisce. Okay. Hey, Tiptoe Joe! I told you about coming in here and just giving me a fright. But it is spooky season. I love spooky season. And I love spooky season for different reasons than everybody else, because I love spooky season because then everybody else gets to talk to the dead people and I don't have to be the only one that has to do it. It's great. You all get to talk to them. You talk to them. It's great. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's look at these. So we have 27, Troy, and well, we gotta put the periods in there because that's meaningful. Um, but let's look. So Troy is 78, but there's something in here. I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit more because there's another vibration that is something else is happening in Troy, but I can't see it yet. Okay, so let's try reminisce. Is 95. So the first thing I actually saw when I wrote these up is that we are still in retrograde season. So any of these words that have this RE are going to be highlighted because of retrograde season. And so when we're in retrograde season, it turns all that energy inward. So retrograde season is like, look at yourself season. Ew. Okay, they reminisce over you. Okay, so that may be what I was feeling. That reminisce was in there. Okay, we'll look at that too. But let's look at how this is adding up. Okay, that's why. That's why I was feeling funny. Okay. 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 That's me trying to stay calm even though I'm freaked out. Even though this stuff happens all the time. So 27, 78, 95 added up together equals exactly 200. And this is my journal. I'm going to show you something. So look, this is my journal that I write in every day. Where my pen is where I write. So here's the pen. Right here is a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 phrases that equal 200. Yeah. That's why I was a little freaked out. I'm like, oh, okay. So, that's a message. Message. Knock, knock, knock. Hello. We're listening. So, some of these, and I do think this is something we should talk about more tomorrow, Josh. But for today, thinking about that date specifically, if I can find, oh, there. Oh, look, I thought I was going to have to go really far for this calendar, but it's right there. So I'm going to read some of these phrases out to you and can see which really resonate for you or just in general in relation to either that date of the 8th or just October in general. Because having me have a list, it means that this is a very dominant energy right now. And so we need to pay attention to it. And so 200 is the numerical vibration of um, nova explosions. So we had two nova stars that exploded. Um, I don't. September is such a blur. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. But nova explosions is 200, and a change in perspective is 200. So shifting the way that you're looking at things is 200. Um, hmm, the storm's reveal is 200. So when a storm comes in and clears stuff out, now it's very revealing. It reveals a lot of things. So a storm reveals, but also 200 is the numerical vibration of when the shift comes. And we've been hearing that a lot. And I think we've actually heard that exact lyric in some of the songs that have come out this week. So that 200 is what we need to look at a little bit more. But we'll dig deeper into the song specifically, Josh, and like some of those lyrics, and the significance around the joining of those numbers. We'll look at that more tomorrow. Everybody else, certainly ask me your questions about October. Tell me what other numbers you have. I like to jump around. My ADHD brain loves to jump around topics. So just let me know what else we should chat about. But let's look at 200 because we've had several discussions about this 2, in particular that 11 to 2, like going from an 11 to a 2. So how do we make sure that we're not getting caught up trying to balance between these two sides and between the extremes, but we're actually fully making this shift into something brand new where we're getting rid of, because neither extreme is good. Neither extreme is good for us. So what can we get rid of from both extremes, and what can we keep from both extremes to come together to make something new? That's what this 2 is. But because it has these zeros on it, it's letting us know that this is like imperative. Like it's really important because this is God energy. And we're getting a double dose of God here. So God is enhancing this message. It's like a big message of like, look, this is really what is happening. We need to enhance this energy of figuring out how to step into this 2 and not balancing back and forth, not jumping back and forth, but actually stepping into this 2. And here's all this energy from God, universe, from the environment around you. Here's all this energy you need to help enhance that goal. And how do we make that happen? So this 200 is, yeah, it's coming in pretty strong. Obviously, if it's coming up here, and it's actually been coming up for me all, pretty much all week, but very strong today. Very interesting. Oh, good, Josh. Good. Yeah, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. Don't let me forget. I'm gonna try and remember. I might write myself a note again, which is so weird. Like I have an idyllic memory. Like I remember everything, but I remember it in weird ways. Like I remember where I am, like where I was the first time I heard a song or watched a movie, and I only have to hear a song once, and then I like know the lyrics. But then I can't remember simple shit of like where I put my phone down, or that I'm talking on my phone and it's in my hand, and crazy stuff. Maybe that, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, all right, let's see. Come on, you supposed to be working that brain. We want all good things, so we got to be intentional. Well, and that's what I was just saying right before you came in, Tiptoe Joe, is that like we're it's very good that we are out of this September energy, that we're out of that space, because man, September was rough. But we have to be very careful because we can like instantly manifest some stuff right now. so, so we got to be careful. Let me see. Where Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. One thing I'm just going to repeat because I want everybody to be able to hear it is that October is a good practice time. So, practicing being intentional about how you're using your energy and where you want it to go, being very intentional about what you say, because that's your energy, that's vibration, and what you do, because that's energy, that's vibration, who you're around, that's energy, that's vibration, being very intentional, and practicing to do that, because we're going to see this same kind of shift in energy when we move from 2025 into 2026. So I wanted to make sure everybody heard that part. Nobody has to go to the replay for that. Because that's going to be very important. So now is a good time to test things out. Like if you have had ideas about projects you want to do, or things you want to do to be able to create the life that you want, or to create the person that you want to be, whether it's health or the way you see life or how you move through the world. Now's a good time to test some of those out. Try some of those things, because then you'll get more information that you can use to apply and be very intentional when we see this energy again in 2026. What? Is that what happened in September, Tiptoe Joe? Because you just got that car, but I knew you were having car problems all through September. And you were told to wait. You were told to wait. And now look, now that $1,000 tag. Oh man, and of course it's 1,000 because it would be an enhanced one. I'm so glad you made it too, Tony. Thanks for being here. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, September was a rough one. So, but in October, it'll be very, very clear if there's anything that should have ended in September that did not end or did not get fully shifted, because it'll feel like a dragging of the feet. It'll feel like a big block to what you're trying to do. So whereas September we needed to really kind of sit back and observe and not rush things, in October we want to be trying new things. We want to test things out. It's okay, Tiptoe Joe. I think that's just human. I think that's just being human. And I have to keep repeating it for myself, so I'll repeat it for you too. Because I had to keep reminding myself all through September, like, just come on, just sit your ass down, just observe, slow your roll. It was hard. It was so hard. We get better at listening every time, huh? But October is the time to try new things, test things out. Hey, Judy, welcome. Okay, I was wondering because I knew you all. I thought you all were on there, and I was like, all right, let me do this live, and then I could go over to Twitch. So October, try new things. Um, Plant a lot of seeds for anything new that you want to do, especially if it's going to take you like all of 2026. So, new projects. Like if you're thinking about moving, even if it's big move, small move. If you're thinking about changing your job, changing the way you're doing your job, all of those are things that you want to test out and practice and see how they feel in October. And you can, some of the little things you certainly can put into place in October. And then they you've already planted the seeds so that they can grow and become super big in 2026. But again, I keep repeating for myself and for you all because I want us all to be able to fully take advantage of this and not get burned by it. We have to be very intentional. You have to be intentional with the actions that you take using this energy and in this energy. You have to be intentional about the words that you say. You have to be intentional about what you're doing and why. Hi, Doc. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. So make sure you're being very intentional. So when I'm in this kind of energy, one of the things that can help you be intentional is even if it's just making a to-do list. But on your to-do list, you write what you're going to do and why. Why is the intention? Oh no. That's no good. I'm sorry to hear everything's been going wrong. We were just talking about how um if there's things that are blocking you or it feels like there's a dragging of the feet, that it may be something that needed to shift or end, and most likely it's a shift. It's like doing something a little bit of a different way. You look back at September and actually all the way back to January. Like for you, Doc, it's feeling like something that might have been in March. Look at March. See if there's anything there that is needs to, like something that started in March or thinking about starting, you started thinking about starting it in March, and it's like just block after block after block. It might just need a slight shift. It's like a pivot that's needed to be able to get around that. Yeah. That's how the last 2 weeks of September felt. I felt like I was like carrying the whole world on my back. Those last few weeks of September, it was crazy. But this month, great time to start things new and to practice like the new life. So you know like how um and I still laugh at them, but you know how like they have the gurus, the affirmation gurus, um that say, oh, just you just have to speak it into existence, and you just have to, but you have to say it in a way that you're already there. Well, we've been saying that for years. Like, it's fake it till you make it. That's kind of what October is. Figure out what is, how would you like your life to shift? How would you like things to change just enough for you to be in a really good place in all areas of your life and in your being, especially. And October is the time to kind of test some of those things out. Test them out, see how they feel. What is it? What would it actually look like? Because in all of this one energy, you can really plant some very strong seeds. But be intentional, because you could plant a flower seed and it be beautiful for one season and then die. Or you could plant an apple seed and have it actually grow into a tree and produce fruit for you for years to come. Ta-da! You like my analogy? I came up with that all by myself. October is it's gonna be a good one, but you have to make it a good one. You have to make sure you're being intentional, so it'll be a good one. Okay. Anybody got any numbers or phrases, or even if it's a word to describe how you're feeling or what you're experiencing? We can actually look at those vibrations also. So, what do you got? Got questions for October? Looking for a specific date for something? Let me know. Mm, that would be fun. That would be fun, Tony. I could probably do that. I think sometimes that I talk too much for an interview, because then like our interview might take like 2 hours, but it might be fun. Oh, good, Tiptoe Joe. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're feeling better. Okay, the 18th. Well, the 18th, Judy, is um it is a start of one of those 9 cycles. It's the start of the second 9 cycle. So it is one where the 9 cycle you're using that energy to you're using it to build up the energy. So on the 18th, and what you could do here, let me show you how to do this. I've showed you before, but we'll do it again. Oh my gosh, I like wrote in so many random places. I can't find a space. Okay, there we go. So if you ever have a particular day that you want to look at, oh, I love Karen and Dave too, Tony. They're great. I love Vegas Unlocked. Anybody that wants to just go and like have a good time on the Vegas Strip right from your home, go to Vegas Unlocked. It's great. So if you have a particular date, so Judy said October 18th. What you can do is two things. You first can find out the vibration of that particular day, and it's just going to be the month. So in this case, 10 plus the day. So 18th. And then plus the year. And in this case, we have 2025 that adds up to a 9. So we do reduce it in this case because we're not worried about the path as much. So this will give us the vibration for that day. Um, so this adds up to 37, which is a 10. So 3 and 7 add up to 10, which then the 1 and the 0 add up to 1. So this is one of those one of these energies that is going to start a 9 cycle, but then it's also that one energy that gets enhanced because the month is also a one. Okay. So, on this just gives you the energy of that day. And so, this will tell you just in general what the energy is. And so, the energy is very much going to want to push for something new because it's coming to this one energy. But the way that it wants to come to something new is by taking action in a way that helps you grow. So by taking action in a way that helps you grow and starting something new. So like for a marriage, that's actually a pretty good vibration to start a marriage in because you're taking action. And if you are intentional and make sure that you're really working with your partner and not against your partner, you both can grow into something new. Isn't that crazy? But then you can actually look at this vibration for yourself. So, like the bride and groom on this day, they could look at their own vibrations for this day. And so, what you do is you take the day vibe, so you take the day vibration, which in this case is 37, and you add your birth month and you add your birth, not your whole birthday, just the day. And then that gives you your vibration on this day. So then you can see how you're working with this vibration. How are you working with it? And like what do you need to be aware of on this day? So if Judy, your friends, if you could look at like what their vibrational days are and also what it is together, we want to get as close to that one as possible. Oh, okay, we could do that. Let's put so 5 as the month and then 16 as the day. Okay. So let's see. So then that's 58. 58 is coming up a lot too. That and 48. So for this person, their day is a 58 day, which actually adds up to 13 and then a 4. So how this person is working with this energy is they need to recognize what are these cycling energies that are coming back around. If there's anything that's coming back around that they need to address, they need to deal with before being able to make the change. And so if this is somebody that is getting married, then they want to make sure that everything is in place and they're all ready to go. And oh, it's you? Okay. So what you'll want to do on this day is make sure that you have everything working out for you. You might see some stuff come back around. So if anything comes back from your past, if it's a memory, if it's a person, you want to be aware of that because that's something that you have to deal with on that day. And it's because you need to deal with it so that you can make change. There's a change that you need to make on this day. And a lot of times when it's just the day, it's not enough time to like really make the change. It's almost like your message will come in on this day or it'll be easier for you to get the message on this day. So there's recognize what's coming up from the past or what you need to remember so that you can change and then make this transformation. So there's some big transformation that's not going to happen just on this day, but that's happening overall that you need to work on this day. And it has to do with the foundation of things. So that's very cool. That's very interesting. Also, what you would want to look at is if this is part of a 9 cycle for you. So, like, go do the days before, like subtract one, and then go forward and add and see where your 9 cycle is, your personal 9 cycle, because then you can use that to build up the energy. And what we tend to see is, so if you have a 9 cycle and like all of the numbers in that 9 cycle are in the 50s, then it means you should be using that 9 cycle for a change, to make some kind of change. That would be enhanced. Okay, I think I saw some other ones. The 6th or the 7th, Tiptoe Joe? Okay. Let's go to the calendar real quick. If I could find it. Man, I wrote all over the place. Oh, there we go. So the 6th or the 7th. Interesting. Okay. Oh my gosh, I used every color on here already. So the 6th or the 7th, so the 6th in general is a 25, and the 7th is 26. And so, okay, let me answer Judy's question, and then we'll get back to the 6th or 7th. And Tiptoe Joe, if you want to put in the chat, any more information, like if you want to give me just the month and the day you were born, we could look at it for you specifically. So how you do your own 9 cycle is you would just, how we calculated those days. So you could take like the calendar that I make here and get the numbers for the day, and then just add your month and day to it, and you could get it for the whole calendar. I'm actually trying to think about how I can make something where you guys could get these calendars from me. We'll think about it. Something we could do in in October. Something new we could try. Does that help, Judy? Just let me know if that makes sense. Okay. So, first thing that I'm seeing, Tiptoe Joe, for the 6th or the 7th. So, in just general, the 6th is 25 is what it's resonating at. And the 7th is 26. So if we just look at this first number on the right, this first vibration, this is the first vibration that you're going to run into this day. So if there's any, and this is for everybody, because these are just the general vibrations. So the 6th is going to be more focused on making a change, whereas the 7th is going to be more about either being comfortable or examining comfort, or like comfort zones. So it depends on what you want to do on those days. So just looking at the energy just in general, you can use it that way. The other thing to recognize, though, is that we do have some astrology happening on both of those days, and that can change how you use those days also. So on Monday, we have Mercury square Pluto. And so a square is really, it's causing tension. And this is tension between communication and your transformation. So it's really wanting to make sure that um, you don't want to do anything on this day that's going to require you to have very clear communication. You could have some communication issues on this day, especially because Mercury is in Scorpio, which is like very deep emotions. So, with Mercury and Scorpio in these deep emotions, and then needing to communicate, this is not a good day for any kind of communication. So Monday, like write your emails for Monday on Sunday, because there could be some strange stuff that's come out. Like you could be like, "Wow, I didn't even know I was feeling all that," but I just told everybody. So just recognize that for Monday. But then for Tuesday, we have Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. Yes, I did say sextile. And this is actually an opportunity to enhance um, your attractiveness. So being able to pull something in. And because we have that 6-2, where it's really about like, this is a really good day to like pull in things that you want or you need to like feel comfortable or to be in a place of comfort. And at the same time, examine why you're not comfortable now or why you want to shift to that more comfortable space. So that's just the general energy. Let's look at the 6th and the 7th for your energy specifically. All right, we're just going anywhere willy nilly at this point. So, October 6th is a 25, and October 7th is a 26. And I think I saw, yeah, 9, 10. All right. So 9 plus 10 plus 25, and then 9 plus 10 plus 26. So for those that weren't here, this is the birth month. Tiptoe Joe had his birthday in crazy September, one of those crazy Virgos. And then this is the birthday. Not like the whole birthday, but the day. And then this one is the day vibration. Let me fix this. I don't know if you can hear that guy laughing, but whatever he laughing at, I want to know that joke. Because he was laughing from like deep within his belly. All right, so let's see. So, okay. So this is 44. It goes to 8. And this goes to 45. Goes to 9. Okay. And so for you specifically, so what I'm looking at is this 5 that's here. So in general, we have the 5 on the 6th, but you personally have this 5 on the 7th. So, hmm. So either of these days are going to resonate for you to be able to do different things. So, what I'm feeling and what I'm getting is that on the 7th, you really want to do things that it's like a completion. This 9 energy very much feels like completion, like finishing something up. So if you need to finish something, like you need to just have it done and just be done with it, do that on the 7th. But then if it's something that you need to do or feels like it'll give you like hope, because hope resonates at 44, then you'll want to make sure to do that on the 6th. So it depends on what you want to do. But if it's something that you want to bring to completion, then you need to do that on the 7th. Okay. Yep. Then do that on the 7th. Yeah. Do not do that car on the no. Don't do anything with that car on the 6th, because the like now knowing that that's what it is, this 6th, this can create a cycle. This 8, and we don't want that car cycling back into the mechanic. Nope. So you want the problems with it to be completely done. So do that on the 7th. And whatever like you're paying for it, if you could have it add up to a 9, that'll even more solidify. So like if they give you a price, then like you can give a tip or additional change or something to have it at, you want it to all the numbers together to add up to a 9. Because that's also being very intentional in using the energy, where it's like, all right, I know I'm in a 9-day and I want this to be done. I do not want to have to deal with this again. So wherever and however you can intentionally get that 9 in there, you want to do that. So if it's exactly $1,000, you can give them a $9 tip. Don't give them more than that, but you could do that. That might be funny. But it would be no, it needs to be an $8 tip. That's even worse. Don't do that. Give them more than that. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions, especially as you come up to that day. You know where to find me. I think, was it you, New Beginnings, that had other numbers? Oh, yeah, you're still seeing all of those. Yeah, those running numbers. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. So, with these numbers, New Beginnings, were you seeing them together or separate? Tiptoe Joe, don't you do that. Don't you do that. You better tip them people. That, because that's going to bring that 8 around and make you have to keep bringing it back. Here you go again, new beginnings. Bringing in this energy. This big, huge energy. Now I can feel it. Making me get all hot. Alright, so let's write these down. So we got four fours. And we have five threes. These are coming through as shapes also. Um, so usually when you see these strings of numbers, they they're actually shapes. Um, so like with the four fours, it's the four sides and having the vibration. It's the vibration of four is what's making these sides, and that looks crazy. I don't like how that looks. So we go take those out. We go take those out. Just forget I wrote it like that because it looks gross. I don't like it. All right, we're doing this. There we go. Better, better. Now we're in geometry class. Now we're cooking. So what this is like? This is coming through. This is coming through as a big old shape. Yeah, because it's even like it's like this. And no, it does not look like this. It looks way cooler, and I wish I could draw better so you could actually see it. Yeah, but that's how it's coming through. And when we add these together, so we have a lot of this seven energy that's been coming through, but so when we add these, let me find a space to do this. So we're getting all of this sevens. So with all of this seven energy, it's really a sign and a signal that it's time to take action. So this is jump, girl, jump. Now is the time. Now is the time. You have to take action. It's time to take action. Yeah. It's it's letting you know that there's very much uh right now is the time. So like if you've been thinking about what is the right time, because we've talked about before with that seven, where it definitely is take action, but you have to take it in flow, like in the right timing and in the right energy. And now is that time. So you're getting some big signals of you need to um, take action. Now is the time. Don't drag your feet. Now is the time to take action. And it feels like it's something that you were trying to take action on before and it kept getting blocked because it wasn't the right time. Now is the right time. And it's something around um, your growth, and this feels like it's in like all areas of life, but also really paying attention to the foundations of things. Your health is included in the foundations of things. So it's take it, yeah, this, yeah, this might be your health stuff because also just how this shape is looking. This shape is look. It looks like a home. It looks like a home. It's like taking care of the home. Who said that, Josh? Who said that? Now is the time that you need to take action in all areas of your life to take care of home, whatever that looks like. Because the foundations of things are needing to they're needing to grow. So it's almost like what you are trying to do. So whatever you're trying to expand out into the world is not going as smoothly as it could be. It might still be happening, but it's not going as smoothly as it could be because the home isn't taken care of. Now is time to take action at home in all areas of home. All areas of life need that growth. So it's the growing and the shifting and the solidifying and securing of all areas of your life. So health, financial, something keeps coming up around. I don't know what that is because it's a there's another person there, but it's not clear who it is. But there's something there that there's some kind of action that needs to be taken for you to be able to fully take care of yourself and the home space. Does that help? Does that answer your questions? Do you have other questions? Because it feels like there's more to come. Like I can see like that within this shape, you're just getting the outside part of the shape. There's more in it. There's more details in it because it's like it kind of like looks how like a snowflake would look where you have the shape on the outside but then in the middle is a certain pattern. You're not getting the pattern yet. Oh yeah, sure. We could talk about 777 because that's actually been coming up a lot for me this week also. If we need to come back to this new beginnings, just let me know. But hopefully that's enough for you to be able to work with right now. And we could talk about it more as more is revealed. So 777. So 7 is very much so we usually are taught and we're told that 7 is like the vibration of perfection. Um, and it's not, but the reason it feels that way is because 7 is like this perfect combination of action and inaction. So we have two ways of being able to get something. Um, is we have where we take action and we like go get it, and we have being able to pull it back in or attracting it in. So it's like the difference between like trying to um, go and be like the salesman to be able to get the sale, or to be of the adage of like you get more flies with honey. So you're doing the super sweet stuff to attract that sale in. And typically it's masculine energy, and we all have masculine and feminine energy. So it's not a gender thing. We can have that discussion another day. But masculine energy is the energy that pushes you to action. So masculine energy is usually about action and movement, whereas feminine energy is more about drawing in. And so 7 is about the perfect combination. So the feminine energy of drawing in is like at the right time, in the right way, with the right steps, with the right people. And then the masculine is about doing the right thing, taking the action, not stopping yourself from taking the action. And so with 777, it's really pushing you to take action and flow, and it's building up momentum. And so what happens with any of these numbers where it's the same vibration next to it, it's like amplified, it makes it super loud, but it also makes it like move faster. So it feels like rapids. So what casinos are doing, where they're using the 777 all the time, is they're making you feel like you have to take action. Like, go, go, go. You have to take action. You have to come get your opportunity. So that's why you see the 7 in that space. When you have the 777 together, it can really make you feel like you need to take action, but to really work with this vibration, you need to make sure that it's in the right timing. You need to have the flow. You need to have the right timing, and you need to be taking action in the right way. You need to be very intentional with it, because this energy can also get you in trouble. So when we add these up, we get 21 that then goes to a 3. So it's taking action in the right time and in the right way in like multiple areas of your life, or with momentum. So making sure that it's the one action after another, and like not stalling on the action, to be able to draw in this new energy that works with both extremes to get you to your growth. So like you see the people that like there's just some people that go to the casino and they win all the time. It's because they are taking action actually in flow. Like they're picking the right machine at the right time, and it can feel like luck. But really what it is they're jumping in the vibrational pocket and taking action at the right time. But you can also do that intentionally, like if you know how to count cards. I can't go in a casino, by the way. It's extremely overwhelming because my brain is like doing all of the math and the probabilities for everything in the whole space all the time. It gives me a migraine. But with any of these numbers also, what's coming up for me to say is that if you know your life path number, you can add your life path number to any of these numbers that you want to work with or that are coming up for you. And that'll let you know how your vibration mixes with this vibration. So if you wanted to know how to be able to take these actions in flow in a way that works best for you and your energy and your vibration, you could add your life path number to it. Come on, Josh. We know that pun was intended. How are you going to be so punny and then say it's not intended? That's cap. But does that answer your question? Do you have any other questions around that? Oh, I just looked at the time. I've been talking for a long time. I did not intend to talk this long. Especially because we're going to be back tomorrow. I should probably go get some dinner. I just looked at the time and got real hungry. Okay, so Josh, let me know if you have any questions. We will go over that if you do. But I would encourage everybody to go and watch the October videos. I have two of them. I have a short version one that just looks at this calendar, and then I have a longer one that goes into detail about the portals and those 9 cycles. Take a look at that and let me know what questions you have. You're always welcome to send me questions or put them in the comments of the videos. I try and make sure to answer all of those. Um, and then I'll be putting out more videos as we go through October, reminding myself and all of you of all of these ways to really take advantage of this energy. Okay. Okay, good, Josh. Okay, good. Good. You're very welcome. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate all of you. Please make sure to hit the like button on your way out and then come back tomorrow and we'll talk tomorrow specifically about hip hop and hip hop vibrations and we'll see what comes out. I will bring the October calendar for hip hop specifically so we can talk more about what these vibrations look like in that space. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Tiptoe Joe. You're very welcome. I'm glad you made it. Good question, Josh. I'm gonna try and. Mm, you know, it's always late, like afternoon. So I'm gonna say, because I never know what time. I'm gonna say I will be on here around, let's say, 5:30 Eastern will be my goal. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later, but that'll be my goal. I can't ever put times on it because I don't know. Most of the time I don't even know what time it is. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully it works out. Have a good night. I know. I know it's football season. I know it's football season. I grew up in a football family, but I still be trying. Yes, go over to Cousin B's Twitch. It's a good time. I'll be there in just a little bit. Bye everybody. Thank you for being here.